candidates. So anyone is open to answer it if you wish. We would probably need a short answer due to the number of people who might wish to answer. There's been much concern about the lack of an animal control officer in the city. Is there any chance the city budget can include such an officer to replace Officer Davis? We'll just start right here with Mr. Thayer. We'll go right down the line. Anybody who wants to answer that question?
I definitely would like to see that in our neighborhood now. There's a lot of wild animals, including cats, dogs, raccoons, skunks, and a variety of other vermin that I'm not even sure what their species are, but the four-legged. Vicki did a wonderful job when she was there. She spent a lot of her own money. It's hard to find somebody like that, but I do believe it's an important part of our community. I think if we could get some funds between the city and or the county to incorporate in this, it's definitely worthwhile. We want to protect our kids. We don't need rabies or anything else like that going on. Also, keeping grass cut and things that homeowners can do themselves. It helps a lot too. Report stray dogs and cats. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Need your name tag.
Yeah, yes. All right. Yes, I'd support bringing back the animal controllers. We cut that job back when money was extremely tight here in town. But we need it. It's a needed thing, pardon me? Okay. It's a needed thing. I know myself, our neighborhood, we had a problem this year with a raccoon in the daytime roaming around. You know what you think right away, it's distemper or something. We had to have the police out about 3 different times and trying to track it down. I don't believe that's what a police officer is for. Our animal control was part-time. I think we could start out the same way. That could save you money on benefits and stuff like that, but I do think we need to start taking care of some of these things. Dogs, cats, and the wild animals. Still out there running around. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I am an animal lover, and I have several good friends that are animal lovers, and when that position went away, I know that there are good citizens here in the community that look after some of these creatures on their own accord and on their own dime, but I would support, should the budget provide for it, bringing back the animal control officer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I was the one, sorry. I was the one that actually brought up that idea in council. The idea is to, there's plenty of room still in the police budget. There's allocations for additional officers that haven't been filled yet. Do we have the money? Yes. Do we have the need? Absolutely. If you've been on social media, any of the local social media, Massillon Virtual Sounding Board, Massillon Community Board, there's a missing animal times 5 every day. We absolutely need an animal control officer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I think Vicki Davis was very great with her job. She did an excellent job with what she did. She was priceless. With that being said, short and sweet, we need to reinstate that position back as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, definitely. I believe that is a position we need as a part-time position. I know my pup ever got out. She had her 8 years. She hasn't got loose yet, but I'd be a nervous wreck until somebody found her. So I have no problem taking part-time position out of the budget for that.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know if anyone knows, but that position is now absorbed through the sheriff's office. So what I would like to see is a thorough analysis with the sheriff in determining exactly what process needs to be gone through to determine what type of, or I guess I should say, how much time is needed and allocated for animal control. When I think of animal control, I do think of a part-time position, but I'd rather see a dually trained officer where they would be able to, in the times where there is not a need for an animal control officer during a shift or so forth, that they could also serve as an officer on the force and doing other jobs as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
As the other council people have said, of course, I do believe that we could use the animal control officer back in Massillon now that we're more fiscally sound. Just to give you some numbers to put behind it, I believe our police force now is mandated or attempting to be mandated at 48 officer level. We only average about 44 as they attempt to get to that full 48. So we do have room within the salary line item for the police department to be able to add that officer. I agree with Ms. Littman in the sense that we could do a dual officer position where the person could still work patrol and possibly do things of that nature, but also take care of our needs for any pests or loose animals that we have. And then, of course, we have to buy a van and some other equipment, but I do believe the budget holds for it.
So, a few weeks ago in council, there was a woman who came, and from time to time, people do show up with concerns around the city. And she expressed how there were 2 dogs of her neighbors that got loose, and they keep repeatedly getting loose, and they mauled her cats. In my neighborhood, I know there are feral cats running around. I live in Mayflower Village, and there's absolutely on social media a very vocal presence that we do need an animal control officer. While I would support Stark County supplying that officer, if we have, anytime you have, time's always a key factor in any kind of situation when it comes to emergency services. So if we have a Massillon officer who is able to respond, I think that's going to be quicker and better for our community. As well as we have looked at the budget, and there is room in the budget to have one. So yeah, absolutely, we do need an animal control officer. Thank you.
Michael, you have been a skill